Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Moon Knight, Season 1, Episode 6.
Gods and Monsters. Kind of.
Two of my favorite things. Well, on that note, I probably liked this one the most.
Sure.
I don't like the implications that what that implies about me, because it implies that I'm only happy with the, CGI.
No.
But you don't think that implies that?
No.
Oh, well, I feel like stuff was happening, and it's what I wanted from an Egyptian-based superhero fantasy show.
Yeah, we spent way too much time in London. You know what I mean? We spent a lot of time in London. We spent a lot of time. And also, I mean, I understand that this is like setting up, hopefully, a character, I guess, or four. But I just think we could have done it more efficiently. And even like this episode was 42 minutes long. You know, you're allowed an hour, right? Or more.
The first, 4 episodes were hours.
Yeah. I didn't really like this show. I've seen so many people that are like, this is my favorite Marvel show. And I'm like, how? I need you to explain to me why and how. Is it because you really like the comic books? Because then I'll allow it. Because I haven't read the comic books. I have no skin in that game. I have nothing to add to the conversation. If that's your reasoning, then fine. But you want to tell me that this is better than WandaVision and Loki and Hawkeye? No, it's not. I'm sorry. It wasn't very cohesive. It was so confusing as to be completely alienating at points.
You're overcomplicating it.
I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. And also all these answers that are supposedly just given to us in the show, where? I don't see them. And this.
Well, and furthermore, if I miss them because I was bored, that's not my fault. That's a failing on the show.
Of the show, for sure. And the thing especially is, yes, I did like this episode, probably the best out of all of them. But you're right. It's because things are happening. Questions are getting answered. We are, doing battle. People are, shitting and then getting off the pot,
I was like, what did I miss?
But it's we're not just waiting around for shit to happen again. I mean, also, but it still does that thing where I'm just I guess it solves it in the post-credit scene, but it's stop being so goddamn noble with these evil entities. You're telling me you're not going to kill this evil thing because that's what she would do?
So I didn't buy that at all, because I'm actually for that. Two of my favorite fictional characters of all time are Steve Rogers and Scott McCall. So it's I love the noble Superman. Yes. I will not kill, but
Steve kills when he needs to. He's a soldier.
Sure. But and Superman is a god, so it's he can afford to be. Bias. But no, I like it when that's the story you're telling, and I don't think this is that story.
I agree.
And furthermore, when he's you sound just like her, and I'm no, because she's both Amit and Harrow have killed people.
They have done.
This isn't hypothetical. This isn't a potential.
They've done the thing they're threatening to do in the future. So killing them is not this Minority Report nonsense. It is literally stopping something from happening.
And it's so I agree with you that the Jack. I was like Jack Harlow. What? Jack Lockley.
Lockley, yeah. I was I don't even remember. Lockley is correct, though.
So yeah, that does add, I guess, a pinch of spice to it, that one of the confirmation of the three, and that one of the three will do bad things or will get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess in concept that's interesting, but it's just, well, first of all, Mark will get his hands dirty. Was that supposed to be that by him and Steven coming together that Steven made Mark better? I don't know. I need heroes who will kill bad guys. Some can take the noble path.
Sure.
Because there's a literal DC comic panel that I love where Superman's or someone's well, you're lucky Superman doesn't kill. And Wonder Woman's I do.
Yeah. And so the other thing is that I don't really understand why, after having solved the issue of Steven and he's in that place, the Duat, Mark is no. I'd like to retain my emotional crutch. That's a whole separate identity.
I guess that's true. They didn't merge. They are still two.
They are still.
I do like
one-
that though. So that's one of the things that I do like. I like having one character that's two. I think it's interesting.
Well, now, but it's 3.
In the comics, it's 5.
It's 5, which is also too many. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's sort of, it's weird.
The word nothing burger gets thrown around a lot these days.
I don't know.
So my favorite was Tarret.
Yeah.
I think that was such a swing.
Yeah.
Her design, especially her characterization.
Mhm.
I was a little miffed that they weren't, because Tarret should have feline
Mhm.
hands and Amit should have like a lion's mane and a hippo butt.
Mm.
But given how confusing this already is, if we were like, she's the
This one's got a hippo ass.
cat, but she's the lion hippo, but she's the
Yeah.
hippo crocodile. I'm okay with them making them
Sure.
one thing.
Because, like, this one has a hippo butt, but this one has a hippo face. Is not it.
So I'm fine with them making them the one thing. But I liked that by the end we had, Tarret, Amit, and Khonshu, and I liked that they had their own personalities. They had like characterization and stuff.
Yeah.
I really liked Amit. I thought she was cool.
She
I
was
liked her
cool.
breastplate and her slinky. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, a really good voice performance. Her name is Saba Mubarak. And or Mubarak, maybe.
So maybe this is a me thing, and maybe I'm conflating my fondness for Elodie Young's Hathor. But what the fuck happened to Hathor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did we introduce her and have her not do anything?
She's not even in this episode.
The Avatar was.
Oh.
She was just dead on the floor.
Oh, yeah. She's just credited as her name. She's not even credited as her avatar. Yeah, still.
So
yeah.
did that mean that those gods are dead, or just their avatars?
I have no idea.
But am I imagining that scene? Like I said, am I conflating the fact that I liked Elodie Young's Hathor?
Probably.
Okay, I thought in episode 3.
Also, isn't Hathor Aphrodite? Yeah.
The Egyptian.
I mean.
You would think that like pop culture and art and media would be like, oh, Aphrodite, there's stuff to work with there, and they don't.
Sex pot only.
And they just bypass her and go to Athena. Or worse, immortals make Athena a weird sex pot. We'll get to that one of these days.
Famous virgin.
Oh yeah, Isabel Lucas.
Famous virgin goddess of war and knowledge, right?
Lesbian friends.
Yeah, right.
No, and it was like episode 4 or 3 or something. She like came out and like warned him about like what was happening, and
Yeah.
it was like she was in line with Khonshu,
Okay.
or they were like old lovers or something.
Here's the other thing as well. The avatars have a lot of fucking nerve in this episode, being like, let's get down to business. And I'm like, if only you had been warned about this days ago.
Whoa, what?
Then they immediately are all dead. And I'm just
You
sort
mean
of like,
off screen too? But also, and I'll let it go after this, but Hathor, I wanted to see her because she has like a bull,
yeah.
a bull head.
Mhm.
And I just thought like a sexy cow would have been really fun. Why did you not give me this, Disney?
Come on.
I'm just imagining her with like cow tits leaning over Khonshu, like, oh. Like, why did you not give this to me?
I don't like that. I don't like that part.
Utters. maybe strike that.
Pull the Ryan George from the Twilight movie where he just goes, I don't like that.
No, and I mean, I really enjoyed Khonshu and Amit fighting all big. And I kind of liked that. I think they could have hit it a little harder, but I kind of liked that they were like a little bit lumbering.
Yeah.
And you could sort of see it like Cloverfield style in the background. Like
yeah.
I was really into that. Also, these last 2 episodes had color, and it's not that a show has to have color for me to invest in it, but boy, is it helpful to give me something to look at.
Which I think is a part of the reason that actually we responded to Hawkeye so much is because it took place during Christmas. And so there's like Christmas lights. And
There was a gimmick.
She's wearing purple, and that there's like a lot of rich people with fancy clothes and stuff. And so that's definitely part of it.
Other than identifying that like Oscar Isaac's performance was good, I just didn't care enough about enough of the elements to really like. Even Layla, she was fine, and I think I like her having the suit in this. Although I was surprised that she was like so. That's where Hathor should have come in.
Sure.
Because Taweret did enough. And also, to my understanding, sorry, I'm nitpicky.
Well, Taweret and Osiris had to work together to get Steven out of the Duat. So it's like, after Taweret did that, you're right, we should have tagged in Hathor.
Because Taweret, to my knowledge, doesn't have wings.
That was bizarre to me as well.
Isis has wings. Nephthys has wings. But
so apparently this character that she plays, apparently she's called the Scarlet Scarab. She's like a thing. But the other thing to me is that she kept on, like, I don't know how she's that character enough to have a name, because the entire episode she was like, I would rather die than be an avatar. And even when Taweret was like so excited when she was in her, she was like, temporarily. And I'm like, just take
That's what this needs, chips on people's shoulder.
Take your fucking powers and the exit is to your left. Like, I've had enough of you.
I'm trying so hard for the silver lining, and you're like, nope.
No, I just like
baby and the bathwater.
I don't know. The main problem is that I can't fully 100% throw it out because of potential implications moving forward. Except that also one of the more interesting implications was that Arthur Harrow was still alive, except not anymore.
Did you? I would find him boring. I was bored. I
think there was some place to go, and I like Ethan Hawke.
I thought it was a breathtaking waste of.
Well, sure,
Ethan Hawke's.
It was a little wasteful.
I just found it to be very one-dimensional compelling. I still don't, and I am dumb, so I'm fully admitting it, but I still don't understand what the like white institution was.
No, me neither.
Was it an in-between? Was it like a purgatory?
Maybe.
Because we went back to it again, and Steve and Mark just zapped out of it.
Yeah.
Was that before he resurrected? So maybe it was.
No.
It was after he resurrected?
Yeah, because that was when Arthur realized his feet were bleeding. And he was like, why am I bleeding? And that's when Mark was like, I don't think you know as much as you think you do. And he was like, I'd rather save the world. And he zapped out of it. And then, but somehow it is real. And he is actually in an institution, because then at the end, when the Jake Lockley guy came with Khonshu and shot him.
But that was a different institution. That one was like all yellow.
Whatever.
I think it was a real world one.
Okay.
Where
they imprisoned an Egyptian god?
I just don't think this will pay off. Like, I don't think that, like, Taweret is going to be in the Multiverse of Madness.
Exactly.
And I will eat my hat.
I will absolutely eat my hat. Egg on my face.
I just, like, I would love that.
Yeah.
It would make some of this worth it. I would love to, in like 5 years, be able to do a retrospective and be like, in hindsight.
Yeah.
But I just don't, I'm unsure.
Yeah. So I do feel a little bit bad. And this is where I'll put my silver lining, is I feel a little bad because this is the first of the Marvel shows that has introduced that has been based 100% around a character we don't know. And that is hard. That was hard
to have 6 hours to endear us to something, and
it was hard for me as someone who doesn't read the comics to overcome. And I agree that they were not doing it 100% right. And like, maybe they were leaning on the source material a little too hard as opposed to like MCUing it up kind of. But it just, for me, that was the thing where it's like, there's not a single recognizable character. Like we could not like throw Maria Hill in there to like, you know, something, but like a very tertiary character that we've met before from the MCU would have gone.
Well, because Darcy did wonders for WandaVision.
Yeah. But also we know Wanda and Vision and Randall Park's character.
But no, and I mean, that goes back to what I said with the Gaspar Noé. I thought he was really cool, and then he was just gone, and then now the actor has tragically died. So it's sort of like, we're not big Yuck People's Yum people, and we pick
so
these,
happy for the people who liked it.
I feel like I've done a bad job when I don't like things, especially because we've had a couple that I'm like, oof.
Yeah, but I mean that's not. If we were not liking everything, then that would be one thing. But this, I mean, this also is the first of the Marvel shows we haven't liked. So
we've had like medium takes on some.
Well, it's like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fine.
Well, and sometimes in the moment we're kind of like, eh, but then in hindsight, I'm like, actually, I did like that. Yeah. But Yeah, I like 4 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, pretty close. I would maybe bump it to like a 5 or 5.5, just because I liked a lot of the performances. But
well, and again, I like the implications. I like that we kind of got confirmation that gods and monsters are real.
Yeah.
On Earth in the world of the MCU.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure we're getting Olympus in Thor: Love and Thunder. And I mean, hey, maybe Zeus is friends with Khonshu. Maybe we'll see them drinking. I would love
Fingies
that.
crossed.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, yes, but it's like the part that I responded to the most from this was like the fancy decoration that they threw in there. And I'm just sort of like, I don't know that we'll ever make a meal out of that.
I mean, I think a meal could be made from that. I don't think the MCU will make a meal from that. So, yeah, well,
all right.
Let us know what you think. Respectfully, please. And we will be back. Well, it's not MCU, but we're going to be covering Obi-Wan, which starts in a few weeks. And then we're going to evaluate at that point what other
our life choices.
What else we're going to be covering in the long haul.
I would love to love Miss Marvel. I'm just not convinced.
We'll see. Well, I'm going to watch it for sure. So also hang out with us on Twitter at So I'm Watching. I will likely at least tweet about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well,
and our website's back.
And our website's back up. Yes. A couple of people have been asking. SoI'mWatching.com.
Sorry.
We got hit. Our server got hit with some malware, and but we are all better now, and we got rebooted. So we're good. Bye.